Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into the ultimate HVAC survival guide specifically tailored for homeowners in Mount Juliet and Middle Tennessee. We're drawing directly from the expert insights of Alpha HVAC Nashville to give you the structured, no-nonsense knowledge you need to protect your home's comfort and, honestly, your wallet. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so picture this. It is a completely sweltering 95-degree summer afternoon. You walk in your living room and, wow, it feels exactly like an oven. Your AC has suddenly quit, and you instantly get that sinking feeling in your stomach, right? You're probably wondering, am I looking at a quick $50 fix or a massive replacement bill that's going to totally wipe out my summer vacation? Panic is totally natural here, but take a breath. I'm going to calmly walk you through exactly what's going on behind your walls and how you can take control of the whole situation. To make this super easy to follow, we've broken this explainer down into a clear roadmap. We'll start with the Mount Juliet climate, move right into common HVAC problems, learn the rules of HVAC, break down costs and codes, and then wrap up with the three-step fix.
Starting with Section 1, the Mount Juliet climate and its environmental stressors. Let's look at the real villain of our story here.
You know what makes our local geography so fascinating and honestly so brutal on your home is how it literally forces your system to work absolute overtime. We aren't just dealing with normal heat here. We are battling a humid subtropical climate. Those 90-plus degree summers demand intense dehumidification. And it doesn't stop there either. The soil beneath our houses, it's this high-moisture clay that is constantly shifting around. Plus, if you live near Old Hickory Lake, you've got these intense, localized microclimates that just chew through components. Top all that off with our rapid winter temperature swings, and your system is basically under constant, year-round siege.
Section 2. Common HVAC problems and day-to-day comfort. So, what does that geographic siege actually mean for you sitting on your couch?
Well, when you feel that super frustrating warm air blowing out of your vents, even though you can hear the system running, it is rarely just the thermostat acting up. Thanks to the massive humidity load we get around here, it's almost always a case of poor heat transfer. Usually, that means dirty coils that haven't been maintained, or, worse, a low refrigerant leak that's literally robbing your system of its cooling power.
On the flip side, let's talk about our crazy, unpredictable winters. Sometimes your furnace might fire up, run for just a few minutes, and then abruptly shut down. That's a symptom called short cycling. It's incredibly wasteful. It spikes your energy bills, and it's usually caused by something restricting the airflow, like a totally clogged filter or a dirty flame sensor that just isn't reading the system's status correctly.
Now this is where our local geography literally hits close to home. Have you ever noticed one bedroom feels like an icebox while the living room is sweltering? Remember that shifting clay soil we just talked about? Well, as that soil expands and contracts with moisture, it actually moves older homes' crawl spaces. That shifting can loosen your ductwork connections right beneath your feet, basically dumping all your precious, expensive conditioned air straight into the dirt instead of your living room. No way you want to be paying for that, right?
Moving on to Section 3, the rules of HVAC, financial decisions. Because knowing the problems is one thing, but making smart financial decisions when you're sweating is a whole different ballgame. Let's look at two fantastic rules of thumb.
First up, let me introduce you to the $5,000 rule. This is a totally brilliant, objective way to take the emotion out of an expensive breakdown. Here's how it works. You multiply the age of your system by the estimated repair cost. If that number exceeds $5,000, replacing the unit almost always makes more financial sense. So, say you've got a 12-year-old system and you're looking at a $500 compressor repair. 12 times 500 is $6,000. At that point, putting a Band-Aid on a tired unit that's already struggling against Mount Juliet humidity is, well, you're just throwing good money after bad.
And then we have the 3-minute rule. This is an absolutely crucial operational habit. Anytime your AC shuts off, whether the thermostat did it or you just had a quick power flicker, you must wait at least 3 minutes before trying to restart it. Why? Because restarting it too fast forces the compressor to push against incredibly high, unequalized refrigerant pressure. Skipping that 3-minute wait, it can literally cause a catastrophic compressor burnout. You'd be turning a tiny momentary inconvenience into a multi-thousand-dollar nightmare. Don't do it.
Okay, Section 4, Costs and Codes. Protect your investment. We need to tackle the numbers and the rules here, because understanding the actual costs and legal codes is vital for protecting your investment in Tennessee.
You might read online that a good HVAC system should easily last 20 years. Well, actually, scratch that. That's just a national average.
Our coastal-like, high-humidity environment here drastically accelerates corrosion on those outdoor units. The harsh reality for a Mount Juliet home is a minimum lifespan of about 12 years and maybe maxing out around 15 if you've kept up with excellent maintenance. Keeping this in mind really helps you plan your household finances a lot more realistically.
So when the time to replace the system finally does arrive, let's look at a clear baseline of what to expect. For a standard Mount Juliet home, say somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500 square feet, you're likely going to need a 3 to 4 ton unit. The estimated replacement cost for that sits between $6,000 and $10,000, and that pricing factors in the federal requirement for Tennessee, which legally mandates a minimum efficiency rating of 14 SEER. Now, if you have a larger 2-story home, you're going to need a zone system. That definitely raises the upfront cost, but it massively improves even cooling across both floors.
Let's talk about time, because knowing these timelines really helps manage the stress when your system dies. A local emergency response should have a technician at your door within an hour or two. A standard repair, that usually takes about 2 to 4 hours. A straightforward system replacement will generally take 6 to 8 hours. But if you're doing a big, complex, multi-zone installation where they have to mess with ductwork, plan for that to take 2 to 3 days to make sure everything is calibrated perfectly.
Finally, Section 5, the 3-step fix, expert solutions. We know the climate, the problems, the rules, and the costs. Now, how do professional experts actually fix this stuff?
Alpha HVAC Nashville uses a super simple, totally transparent 3-step process to cut out the usual contractor runaround. First, schedule and diagnose. They come out to find the actual root cause, not just patch the symptom. Second, quote and repair. You get an upfront flat rate price before they even pick up a single tool. And third, test and guarantee. They thoroughly test the system to verify it meets all manufacturer specs, and then they back it up with a solid warranty.
And honestly, this is exactly why you need local, highly certified experts. Having NATE certified techs who are EPA Section 608 compliant, that ensures strict adherence to laws around handling environmental refrigerants. Plus, utilizing manual J load calculations guarantees that your new system is mathematically sized perfectly for the specific humidity load of your house. You aren't just buying parts, folks. You are buying correct, code-compliant engineering. It's a real game changer.
So, I'll leave you with this provocative thought as we wrap up our explainer today. Considering everything we've just uncovered about our shifting clay soils, the massive humidity loads, and those surprisingly short 12 to 15-year lifespans, are you sitting on a ticking time bomb right now? Or are you prepared to use the $5,000 rule and the 3-minute rule to finally take control of your home's comfort? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me, and stay cool out there.